NFT PowerUp's trivia platform. The space will begin shortly. While you wait, join the back-channel discussion on Discord. Join us every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time for commentary on the latest Web3 news and to win big with NFT PowerUp's trivia gaming platform, nftpowerup.io. The space will begin shortly. Please repost the space now to bring in more of our AI and Web3 friends. Welcome to the space of NFT PowerUp. Compete for blue chip NFTs, cash prizes, and more on NFT PowerUp's trivia platform. The space will begin shortly. While you wait, join the back-channel discussion on Discord. Join us every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time for commentary on the latest Web3 news and to win big with NFT PowerUp's trivia gaming platform, nftpowerup.io. The space will begin shortly. Please repost the space now to bring in more of our AI and Web3 friends.
Hello, everybody today.
Yo, GM, man.
How are we doing?
All's good. How about you?
I'm good. Welcoming everybody here. Everyone's listening, and our guest as well, Rastaraz. How are you, everybody? Please come on in.
Yo, doing amazing. So thankful to be here with all of you. Can't wait to dive into the space today. Let's get it.
Let's go.
All right, everybody. Super exciting to be here again. A lot of familiar faces in the listeners and the audience. Happy to have you all here again. Do not forget to retweet the space. Get everyone in on the conversations today. Now we've got a lot planned for today. Starting the space, we're going to dive into the topics that we have prepared. And my favorite part, which is the little guess the voice game. And then we're going to be doing a little AMA with our guests, Blocksmith Labs. We've got Rastaraz here representing them today. Super exciting to have you here with us and cannot wait to dive deeper into what you guys are building today. Then we're going to announce your favorite part, which is the trivia winners and the new trivia announcements. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to hear all about about Blocksmith Labs, and can't wait to dive in deeper. Starting this space today, I'm sure Rastaraz is going to have a lot of valuable insights to bring to this discussion. We've got Solana's Breakpoint 2023 recap. MG, hit us with the news.
Yes, sir. So what happened over the last 2 days? Mainly, it was the week before we saw some movement with Bitcoin. Then we saw a bit of stagnation with all the coins, but we saw the last few days Solana taking a huge run. So the most part of it was basically due to hype revolving around Breakpoint 2023, which is basically Solana Breakpoint. It's a yearly event that they do where they showcase what they have, new products, any new partnerships, integrations, and so on. But this year had a specific impact on the price of the coin, since there was already movement in the market. Eyes were on the coins, and it came in a time where Solana was prepping up. It was moving away from that accumulation phase, and just in time for that jump in price. So basically, a lot of things were announced in Breakpoint 2023, but some highlights, which we're going to discuss now and get your opinions on. Some highlights made Breakpoint 2023 the event of this month for Solana. Basically, they announced partnerships. So Solana, we know it's a US based blockchain. It's a US based product. They announced two key partnerships. The first partnership was with Google. So what they did, they partnered with Google Cloud, and this way the chain data was now on Google Cloud. They're integrated with BigQuery service. Now, the other integration, which I'm pretty sure it's the better integration for everyone who's keeping an eye on Solana, which was the integration or partnership with AWS. Now, we know that AWS is a huge service. They are Amazon by itself is $1 trillion company. The sole news that they just partnered with AWS is big, but what the partnership is actually about is that they now allow nodes, RPC nodes, Solana RPC nodes to run on AWS, and that's huge, basically. So it needs no dev or no coding, basically, knowledge for users or developers to run a node on Solana, and this is basically big news for the blockchain, because we saw that Solana a few weeks back, not a few weeks back, maybe a few months back, they had a few trouble here and there, and maybe their blockchain had been halted for a few minutes, which was not a good look for the blockchain. But now that more users, more developers, more validators can run their RPC nodes on Solana, it's definitely good for maintaining the blockchain itself. Emma, what do you think? Do you think these are strategic long-term moves by Solana with partnering with Google and AWS?
My thoughts were, you have to repeat everything you said, but in plain English and simple, please. What happened, and why, and how?
They just partnered with Google Cloud. They partnered with AWS, two well-known brands in the space, right? Google Cloud, they integrated with BigQuery. This allows for AI in-depth analysis, on-chain data being stored on the cloud with Google. The other half is that they integrated or partnered with AWS, which then allowed them or allowed developers to run nodes to maintain the Solana blockchain using AWS.
I lost you there for a while. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. That's everybody except myself. All right. Since you can hear me, I'll do this one way then. What I find unusual in this is that cloud providers already have blockchain solutions. They've already been doing this for a while. So Azure had this, and Amazon have this, and so on. So I'm just trying to see the link with that makes this special. Is it because they have a coin?
No, we lost you, Emma.
Yeah, we lost you, Emma. Nothing yet, Emma.
All right, so in the meantime, I think we can ask Rasteras if, since they are a Solana-based project, have you benefited from any of the recent developments that we saw with Solano?
We've seen Solana having a lot of strength in the last year. Things have been running very well for us. We've seen Firefly is getting ready to launch. So many great developments are happening on this blockchain. And I was at Breakpoint myself, and the energy there was just immaculate. Everyone is just grinding, building, investing in this ecosystem. And it's just a blessing to be in a place where we have so many people that are so confident here. I mean, a lot of people were down bad. You know, we had FTX collapse. Solana saw a lot of downwards pressure. But as soon as we got to breakpoint, we really turned the page, we really changed the narrative, and now you've seen all this money coming into Solana. And so when the price goes up, obviously a lot of people get happy and are more excited about the blockchain. So things are looking good for us. We're so excited to be building on Solana with all the amazing tech that we have on this chain. We have the fastest transactions, the cheapest transactions, and we are here to stay. So definitely excited about all the developments right now that are happening on chain.
Rasta, it's super cool that you were actually at the event. So it was a multi-day event. Is that correct?
Yes, so everyone was going to all the NFT side events and everything on both ends of the weekends, and that was the main breakpoint event going on during the week.
For you specifically, maybe for your project also, what were your main takeaways from Breakpoint? Are there any things that you're looking forward to that's going to launch soon on Solana?
As far as the tech side, I mean, nothing in particular beyond just everything that's we've seen the whole time with Solana. It's so nice to just know that like they're really investing in the community, and we have these hacker houses multiple times per year. And I think nobody is doing it like Solana in terms of investing in development, investing in the community, and really having like grassroots connections where you have NFT degens that know nothing about coding or anything, and they're able to have real life conversations with the founders of Solana. I don't think you have relationships like that exist on other blockchains, and so that's what makes us so excited. It's just so human being able to connect with everyone on that level.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I think if you want to succeed as a blockchain, you don't have to just speak the language of developers, but you need to actually speak the language of the users, of the lay users who are going to use the blockchain maybe for day-to-day transactions, and who are not just deep into the coding or the hacking or so on. I saw that they launched, or Sling actually launched a new peer-to-peer payment app that was revealed in Breakpoint. And the thing that I felt that what interesting about Sling is that it does not act as a normal wallet, like as a MetaMask or another wallet. It actually looks and feels like a normal Web2 wallet. It looks like a PayPal. It even signs in through Apple Pay. But what I saw interesting about it is that they do KYC at the sign up. So they require you to enter your Apple ID. Then you have to go through a sign up process, do the KYC. And then by doing the KYC, they're turning the KYC into a feature. So they're promising send money to anyone, anywhere. So using their KYC, you can look up, let's say your friend, let's say Tom, whoever. You can look up Tom Smith, for example. You can see if Tom Smith has a verified account, he has done his KYC on Sling, and you can transfer your money safely through the app. You know that this person is a verified account, he has done his KYC. You see the picture of the user and so on. And for users who have not joined the app, they promise also to pay anyone, anywhere. They provide a link which directly connects. You can select the bank account of the country that you're in, and then you can directly transfer those funds into your bank account. I think this is very interesting, because we know that a lot of providers, such as PayPal, have been digging more into Web3, but still the fees that PayPal charges are a bit high. And by using Solana, Sling using Solana, which is purely run on USDC, they're basically taking advantage of the higher speed times of the transactions and the very low fees, which I think are very important if you want to do like cross-continent transactions in seconds. So I think this is something that I'm most looking forward to following Breakpoint 2023. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yep, I fully agree with everything that you said, MG, and also hearing Rastaras's perspective and the way he really spoke about Solana. And I personally have to fully agree with what you guys said. Solana is here for the long run, and with all these developments that they're putting out and investing in the blockchain again and again, really shows how dedicated they are to making it stable. Now, I'm interested to hear. Yeah, continue.
Yeah. No, no, go on, sir.
Yeah, so I wanted to see how you think all of these collaborations, and we've got Helium integrating with Solana and migrating to Solana actually, and Render Network integrating with Solana as well. So, how are these affecting projects firsthand?
Yeah, so basically, since Solana is doing a lot of the heavy lifting on the back end side, they're developing the blockchain itself. A lot of projects saw that it was more suitable for them to move from other blockchains to Solana. And two examples of those are Render, which was a blockchain, which was a project running on Ethereum that basically helps AI artists and so on render their animations and visuals. They basically turned to Solana because they have faster transaction speed. But the bigger migration, which had a lot of news over the past year or so, was Helium. So Helium, it basically boomed. Helium network boomed in 2021. They saw a huge increase in their hotspots. So for anyone who doesn't know what Helium is, Helium basically is the IoT network provider. It's a decentralized IoT network provider. They promised users rewards for deploying hotspots in different locations, so that they wanted to grow this whole IoT network of hotspots. So initially, they were running their own blockchain, but then they had a lot of downtime, and by community vote, they decided to move to Solana. They what they said was, let us focus on the IoT, let us focus on the project, and not worry about the blockchain. And then basically they just announced their final migration to Solana. Now everything is on Solana, which I think is good for the network. I've been keeping an eye on Helium because Helium is a promising project, although they have taken some backlash over the last year. But I think they have good potential. They are a good project, and they have a good team. The product that they're offering is also a very solid product. Now they also offer 5G in the US, which I think is also good. So it's a decentralized system of telecommunications network. So yeah, I mean, let's see what the future holds for Helium on Solana. But I'm bullish on that, since I'm bullish on Solana. All the updates that we keep on hearing, all the developments that are coming from Solana's end are nothing but good news for the project.
Yep, I completely agree with that. Now, if you wanted to discuss Sling a little bit more, the peer-to-peer payment platform, how do you think, or what impact do you think it would have on the bigger adoption and use of cryptocurrencies in our everyday transactions?
So in terms of adoption, first of all, no, I can hear myself twice. No, I can hear myself twice. Hello,
Yes, you're good now.
hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be fine.
MG, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so,
Please go
so in
ahead.
terms of adoption,
My bad.
Sling, no worries. Sling is an already established app. You can find it on Google Play. But what they did is that they introduced this new blockchain layer on top of their app. So they already have existing customers, which is good for adoption, and they're making it very seamless for users to hop onto the blockchain, because as I said, it looks like a Web2 payment app, and it feels like a Web2 payment app. The sign up is very intuitive and so on. There's no seed phrases involved, although it's a Web3 app. It's a Web3 wallet. So everything is seamless for the user, and that's I think very important for any new users to hop on to a new type of payment system, because what we saw recently with all the 12 to 24 key seed phrases, and you have to keep them in a safe place. You have to make sure not to lose them, not to get hacked, and so on. So this is a seamless way for users to onboard onto these new wallets. And then once the user is ready, they can export their seed phrases. They can take care of their own wallets. And yeah, I think it's definitely good for adoption, since they already have a good base, and they're building on top of that.
So let me just clarify one thing. When you first sign in, there is no Web3 integration, but once you settle yourself into the platform, then you can start exploring how to export your seed phrase and save it safely, etc.
Yep.
Right? Awesome, interesting. I haven't looked into it, but I'll definitely be looking into Sling more. Rasteras, have you seen it?
Personally, I have not, but I'm really excited for that technology. I mean, just experiencing going to Amsterdam and Breakpoint, I had to transfer my currency several different times on my trip, and I just want to be able to pay for everything in Solana in the world. I want to get paid in Solana. I want to pay people in Solana, and I'm just so excited about the future of cryptocurrency that we won't have to be getting charged like cash advance fees at the ATM and all this stuff. So the real world use case is so applicable for me. I can't wait for everyone to be using this. I want to pay my Uber in Solana. I want to buy French fries in Solana. I can't wait.
What's up with the Solana love?
The bull is back.
So it's not paying with cryptocurrency, any form of crypto. It has to be Sol.
Yes, Solana.
Salami for life.
How did you get started on Solana?
I got started on Solana because I was looking into videos on YouTube about Ethereum NFTs and listening to other people that had made so much money, and all of them were saying, "Hey, you guys should check out Solana. It is going to be the next up and coming thing." And yeah, I looked into it, got in at the very top of the last cycle, entered into some rug NFT projects, and eventually found my way into Blocksmith Labs and found my home there. So I've just been working with the core team over the last year and a half. Eventually got a position there working with them as the representative for Spaces and just grinding with them for marketing and anything I can. And yeah, I really found my home over here, and super crazy that just the stars are aligning for the ecosystem and everything's working out over here.
I like how you mentioned that you entered into, rugged projects. We don't consciously enter. We enter, wholeheartedly there, and then they rug. But I like that positioning. Can you tell me more about why do you think there's an ETH versus Solana, two separate camps? ETH folks don't mix up very well with Sol folks and so on. Generally, not it's a broad statement. But why do you feel? Can you give me a bit more context on why there are two camps?
Well, I think a lot of it is just because they entered the ecosystem at a different time. Ethereum has seen more cycles than Solana. There's just different underlying technology on the two blockchains, and so it attracts different people. There's an older generation and kind of an older mindset in Ethereum, and there's maybe a fresher, newer perspective on Solana. But I think that narrative can change because a lot of that is driven, in my opinion, just by the Twitter algorithm. And a lot of it is just that, when you have people clashing, it creates attention and it creates people, wanting to look and see, why are these people arguing? Why are they fighting? I think it's ridiculous. We can have Solana succeed. We can have Ethereum succeed. There are use cases for hundreds of different blockchains, and I don't have any enemies on Ethereum. I love all their NFTs. Super happy with DGods and everything they're doing. Super happy with Mad Lads and everything they're doing. So I think Ethereum rocks, Solana rocks, but we rock better together. So we can just be friends over here.
Very nicely said.
I love how you
now,
said that. Yeah, sorry,
say,
what's
go on, Sarah. Sorry.
The floor is yours. Would love to hear your voice.
Yeah, since we're talking about blockchains and so on, I wanted to mention that Disney partnered with the Dapper Labs, the creators of Flow blockchain, to create their own NFT platform. And this platform will have some amazing stuff, I think. So they will have NFTs about Star Wars characters, Pixar, cartoon characters, and so on. So I think everyone loves those. And additionally, it will have digital pins, collectibles. So this was inspired by the physical pins that are sold at Disney theme parks and Disney World and so on. And now they want to bring it up to digital pins. Now, I don't think I've seen anyone do it before digital pins, but that's new, that's good. And I think now I didn't read a lot about the utilities of those NFTs or use cases, but I think there is a lot of use cases they could explore, especially that it's Disney. Maybe later on they build their own metaverse or so on. Tickets. Maybe we also the first ever ticket, Disney ticket that was 50 years old, I think. That's a good way. If we mint it in an NFT, keep it on their platform, that's a good preservation case, and so on. So, what do you think about it, guys?
Yeah, I think Disney entering this space is definitely the best move for them because Disney, by their nature, they are an IP company, and we saw how Gary Vee took IPs to a new level. Gary was basically he was inspired by Disney, and then he launched his collections. He wanted to do what Walt Disney did. So yeah, it was Disney, Gary. Now it's back to Disney. So Disney has been making a full circle. They're into NFTs. But what's interesting is that they haven't gone fully into NFTs. Like you mentioned, Star Wars and Pixar. So they're selecting different areas where they want maybe to test the grounds of what the NFT market looks like. And yeah, we all know Disney, the Disney Wonderland. We know Disneyland, and a Disney Metaverse is something that is not far away. So, but it's interesting to see if they ever do that and what kind of experiences that they can bring that are different from other metaverse experiences.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I also think that these are not the normal NFTs that we use. They're actually dynamic NFTs. So they change, as we know, based on the weather, based on engagement, and all of these stuff. And they can also be personalized to what you would like them to be based on also some Star Wars characters or Pixar characters, which is pretty interesting to see. But MG, do remind me of this. Is this the first time Disney enters Web3?
But by the nature of the question, I'm assuming this is not the first time they Web3. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've forgotten any previous news we talked about Disney entering Web3, but I'm pretty sure this might not be the first time that they entered. Is
I
that the
Yeah.
think
case?
they hinted about it a couple of months back. They were hiring an IP lawyer for blockchain patents and so on. Maybe
Okay.
I think I'm right on this one.
Yep, because I
Okay.
think I've seen them do some stuff before, but I'm really not sure what. But what I'm sure of is that Dapper Labs, they're known for their NBA Top Shots,
Yeah.
and crypto kitties and whatnot. So knowing how developed and stable they are in this space, it's pretty exciting to see this collaboration moving forward.
Web3 guy, do you think this move by Disney is very meticulously timed, such what we talked about Simpsons last week? It's a very timed move to announce this partnership, which usually coincides with a big move in the market, so that people are all hyped up of what's coming in this next one.
Yeah, maybe why not? Because as you said, the whole market is booming. So Bitcoin is surging. Simpsons mentioning NFTs on their episode, like a lot's been happening. Solana breakdown and so on. So yeah, if they did it on purpose, they timed it now. That's a good marketing point for them.
Do you feel the market is really going up, or is it just a blip? I don't, I see
I
hints,
think
but I
it's
see we're
better.
hungry.
Yeah, it's better than 2 months back. So I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the status of a lot of coins is better on the Bitcoin pairs than what they were a few weeks back. But yeah, I mean, definitely Bitcoin and most of the coins, they do need a breather. And people, to be honest, they got bored a lot of part of this year, and maybe they clutched onto what type of the smallest news. Maybe it's not the smallest news, but Bitcoin ETFs. They went crazy over that, and then a small to medium run came along with that. But I mean, we're here for it. If it continues, why not?
Hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know if Rasteras thinks the market is back and the bull is back, or you feel like this is just a small up in the market and then we're going to go back to how days were before.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting because if you look historically, a lot of times in the bear market, you see Bitcoin really taking control of the market and all the other coins bleed against it. So what's really interesting for me is that recently we've seen so many of these alternative coins pump against Bitcoin. Like you guys were saying, the ratio of those coins compared to Bitcoin is going up. And I think it's possible that that could be an indicator that we are either in the bull or shortly coming up on it. So I'm very excited about that. Of course, this is crypto, and at any moment, we could go down 50%, we could go up, we could go left, we could go right, we could go any direction. It really is a guessing game. Nobody knows what's going to happen for sure, but I am super excited because we do see a lot of volume returning. And when you have a lot of volume returning, that means there are opportunities in the market. There is liquidity moving around if you can catch it. And so, regardless of the direction that we're going with Bitcoin, I'm super excited just to have the attention of people talking about crypto again, talking about NFTs. And I think that means that 2024 is going to be a wonderful year for everybody that's here right now.
Absolutely. I love the enthusiasm. I love how excited you are about it. I mean, if we weren't, you'd get us excited too. But to confirm on what you said when it comes to Bitcoin, based on the BitInfo charts data, it actually shows that there was a 237% increase in the last 11 months in wallets that are holding Bitcoin. So I think this kind of shows that the market is again shaping up a little bit and giving us what we're looking for.
Sarah, are you gearing up for the next halvening?
I personally am not, but I'm interested to see how that will roll out. What about you, MG?
No, not quite on Bitcoin, but maybe keeping an eye on other some other coins. Not particularly
So
Bitcoin, but I'm pretty sure that Bitcoin is will have an effect on the whole market.
Are they shitcoins that you're looking at, or something more,
No,
something
no,
else?
no, no,
Solana,
no.
right?
Yeah, maybe Solana, maybe some other pre-established coins. I mean, they're pretty much at a bargain now if you're considering the prices they were at 2021. So all established projects, all great founders and backgrounds. So why not get in on some good prices?
What else do we have?
Yep,
I think it's
super.
time to guess the voice.
Ooh. Ooh.
Let's do it with three guys.
All right, all right. Let's go.
Entrepreneur, an actor, a director, a producer. He can juggle. He's great at Scrabble. He pretty much does it all. And he's also helped me through a lot of hard times in my own life, and he's always been there when I need him. So 50, congrats on your star, man. Hollywood is making official what I knew from the beginning and Dre knew from the beginning. Thank you.
So, are we guessing who's speaking or who is he introducing?
No, we're guessing who's speaking, and I don't know if because I'm a big fan of him, I can know his voice from miles away. There's a hint in there, by the way.
8 miles away.
Nice.
Yeah, but guys, we're waiting for your requests to guess who that voice is. If you'd like us to give more hints on the voice, let us know. Request to speak so we can bring you up to guess who that voice is. Rasteras, if you'd like to guess as well, let us know.
I'm pretty sure that was Vitalik Buterin. Is that right?
Nope.
We did try Vitalik on one of our earlier spaces, and it didn't work out the way we were hoping to. People didn't recognize his voice, but yeah. But it's not Vitalik, no. He's a rapper. He referenced 50 Cent
Dre.
and Dr. Dre, and yeah. I'll play it again.
And the same way that he's relentless in his battles, he's also relentless in his business. He's an artist, an entrepreneur, an actor, a director, a producer. He can juggle. He's great at Scrabble. He pretty much does it all. And he's also helped me through a lot of hard times in my own life, and he's always been there when I need him. So 50, congrats on your star, man. Hollywood is making official what I knew from the beginning and Dre knew from the beginning. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of hints in what he was saying in his speech, and we just gave a couple of hints on here. So we're waiting for your requests. Guess the voice, and let us know if you actually know who it is. In the meantime, while we get those requests, I don't know if you guys saw the Humane's AI pin. Actually, when I first saw it, the only thing I could think of was, what would Ayman think about this, and would he be hopping onto this trend and testing it out? Ayman, did you get the chance to look at it?
I did, and I really want to get one, and I have two other people that I don't know I want to buy this for because I know they'd appreciate it. So yeah.
I love that. Just to give everyone a little more context on what the Humane AI pin. First of all, it's actually launching today and will be sold for $700. Today's the drop date. So basically, it's a clothing pin that is designed by former Apple employees, where you can attach it to your clothes, and it features voice interaction with virtual assistants powered by the one and only OpenAI and Microsoft's cloud computing. And there's also a laser projection on it, so it doesn't actually have a screen, but if you hover your hand in front of it, your hand then becomes the screen, which is pretty interesting. MG, would you use something like this? MG, you're muted.
I think we caught him off guard. So if you want,
No,
I
no,
can
no.
answer that.
Let
Okay,
me
MG,
let
go
me tell
on.
you. Yeah, no, I was trying to speak. I didn't know I was muted, but I was looking. I was trying to find a meme, sir, that I saw about this. It's taken from a movie. I'm not sure if it's taken from her or another stalker movie, but it's basically said in 2011 we've come full circle to 2023. In 2011, the stalker had his camera jumping out of the pocket of his shirt, and now we have this camera that's hovering all over our chest so that we can film people while we're walking. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get one. We already have the mobiles. I don't think I'll be that busy with my hands to need a pin on my chest to kind of answer my requests. But it's a definitely interesting technology to have. I saw that they were 6 years in the making of this product. But yeah, I don't think it's the product for me.
I feel
Yeah,
it's very much like a phone. I feel it's very phone-like, and I think it's because that's what we've been using personally for the last 10 years or so. So the first iteration is very phone-like. It's the same way you have an Apple Watch or equivalent. It's a plus version of that with the AI enablement. A lot of the requests that I saw in the demo were things that you could ask Siri or Google's voice assistant. I do like the concept of having it recording, and I think we're more and more into wearables, certainly with Facebook, with Meta's Ray-Ban collaborations and having the Meta AI built into that, having that always recording and then to go back and rewind a little bit. But it's very phone function. The reason I'm excited about buying it is I wanted to see how I would or might not necessarily use it, right? So what are things that I find myself using more than others that I wouldn't be using on my phone? But I feel with Apple or Google adding more AI functionality to their voice assistants, a lot of what the device can do can be done with that. I'm not discounting their design or their approach or so on. I'm looking at the functionality of our day-to-day.
Yep, fully agree. And to also double confirm on what you said is that they actually marketed it a little bit as a phone, but like a more seamless experience without the need to actually have it in your hands. And then some of the features that were actually interesting to me were the Catch Me Up email summarizing function, which is pretty efficient, I think, and the camera for the computer vision tasks. So I'm interested to also see who's going to be buying it and using it and for what. But now, since we're speaking about AI, while I was doing some research, one thing really stood out for me is that Cambridge Dictionary revealed a new word of the year, and it relates to AI. And I'm sure you're all aware of the word hallucinate, right? So AI can now hallucinate, and what I mean by that is that if you get a response from AI that is wrong or using false data or information, then you would say AI is hallucinating. So I kind of find it funny to use this term for AI because it's completely different than what the word we're used to is. But yeah, that's a little gossip I
Sarah,
wanted to
do you
bring.
think, Sarah, do you think this word is gonna catch on with new models of GPT and other AI, maybe chatbots, being developed more and more with the new data being trained into their brains or systems? Are we gonna see this more or less being used? Is ChatGPT or other chatbots gonna still be giving out? Do you think they're gonna still be giving out, let's say, in 2 or 3 years, wrong answers?
Well, I really hope not. And as we all know, that the more you feed AI with data, the better responses it's going to give you. So hopefully, within a couple of years, once this technology has been fully explored, developed, and all that, I kind of find it unreasonable for it to keep on giving false information unless it was fed false information without being fed the actual opposite information that is true for it to kind of reason the information given out. So let's hope not. But my question
Interesting
to you,
point.
MJ, is
Interesting point.
my question to you is, or to actually Rasteras as well, do you think that there will be enough data to constantly feed AI for it to give you the best prompts? Ayman, I'm also interested to know your perspective on this.
Rasta, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's constantly data. So many people right now are using Chat GTP just for like basic tasks, asking it how to cook your mom's spaghetti. And so I think it's constantly going to be learning about people and figuring out what's going on in everybody's lives, and it's always collecting that information. So absolutely.
I'm not worried about there not being enough data, Sarah. There's the internet. There's because we're generating also on our day to day. We're generating a lot of data. We have 5 speakers here on TourSpace. Each one of us have our own content, our own pages. Whatever we're doing here is, being recorded and broadcast and added to that pool of information. Whatever topics we speak about, whatever things you do on your phone, all of this, we're generating data every day. So I'm not worried about the data bit. The part that I think is having better use cases for things. And I feel with the wearables, wearables are will be better now with AI being much more readily available.
Yep, Ayman, couldn't agree more with that. Um, well, we really hope that we don't get to a time where Ready Player One gets activated on us and we get all AI just going against us. So
Let's hope not.
hopefully we'll for MG, say that again.
I said, let's hope not.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of the use of AI, Web3 guy, you were mentioning something today about YouTube and AI.
Yes, now for creators, I don't know if this is bad news or good news, but it's definitely good news for the audience. Every creator on YouTube now needs to kind of mention if there was anything in his video that was AI generated and looks realistic to avoid misleading the audience. So this is not a new concept. So we also Google sent ID. So yeah, I think they just want to reduce deepfakes, misleading content, and so on. So yeah, as AI needs to be not regulated, but there should be some rules not to mislead people, make everyone believe some AI generated photos at has like happened before and so on.
Well, are you able to spot? We see a lot of on our Instagram feed maybe on TikTok. Are you able to spot AI generated photos versus real photos?
Some images are clearly AI generated, but some look a bit more on the realistic side. You can't, especially the ones created with Midjourney. I saw someone a while back, he uses a very detailed prompt. He mentions the camera, the angle, the lighting, the depth, man, a lot of stuff, a lot. And literally, the image, it generates an image like it was taken with this specific camera. So I don't think you can see that it was really AI generated like the ones we see on a daily basis.
Yeah, I feel like when AI generated images first came out, it was much easier for us to identify which is AI generated and which is not. But now with the more detailed prompts and how everyone is really getting educated on how to prompt AI, it is getting very much harder to tell which are and which aren't.
Yeah, the first versions of those, Sarah, were like, give me a human, and his arm is coming out of his stomach. I mean, if you ask them for a crowd photo, you get these maybe mixed up and blubbed up faces of the crowd. These photos are definitely easy to detect, but something like what the Web3 guy discussed, it might be not as much.
Yep, one. Ayman, go ahead. Sorry.
I was walking through an art event, and they had a bunch of booths, and people had handmade things and paintings and pictures and a bunch of different things. So one of the booths I was walking by, and then I stopped and went back, and because the images looked like they're AI images, but I wasn't sure. So I ended up talking to the people at the stand, and the images were actually definitely AI images, and they were artists that are specialized in this. So it was a booth specifically for artists who are specialized in AI. They also had exhibited in one of the events I participated in, which is the Dubai Assembly for Generative AI. They had participated there and showed their artwork there. And I did spend some time to find out who the artists were. I reached out to them on social to follow them, and I'll be interviewing some of them as well moving forward. So it does stand out. The art does stand out. For now, it does stand out
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I feel the same way. But maybe, Ayman, I may be deceived by some photos that I think they're real and they may be AI generated. But for those, I can definitely tell that maybe they have a softness to the texture of maybe the human skin and so on. You can definitely tell that those were generated by AI.
At the Dubai Assembly for Generative AI, one of the artists that I met, he had a very complex image, and what I liked about his work is that not the whole image was AI generated. He used coral reefs, for example. He generated those from AI, and then he imported them into that particular image. One of the aspects of the image was the Museum of the Future, and it was super detailed. I asked, how could the AI generate this? He said, no, this was done by a picture, so it's a high resolution picture that the artist then took, manipulated, and embedded in the image. So I felt it's like a collage that we used to do back in school, where you'd cut magazines and parts of a book and printing out something here. You put them together, obviously in a very elaborate and complex way. But I felt that was it, because the image was very nice. But so it had a combination of real images, AI generated images, and he used multiple tools in order to make everything meld together so that it comes up looking great.
Yeah. Now AI has become a new medium. So this is multi-medium art. AI is one of the mediums that they're using.
When we're looking at AI and art, some people look at art generated by AI not being art, and they look down at it.
Yeah.
This reminds me of when computers were becoming much more readily available at schools and homes. And that gave rise to digital artists who can't draw by hand. They can use the computer and computer tools to draw. At the time, a lot of people looked down, saying that this is not real art. With time, obviously, that has changed. I'm getting the same vibe with AI art. people, not considering this to be art, while you have the others who are considered to be really art. So I'm working on generating specific art to put in my home with the quality of the art that's coming up. So there's, it's natural with new technologies to have people who feel very nostalgic for the old. So they felt nostalgic for the old art. That's why they did not accept digital art in computers in the late 90s, early 2000s. The same way now with AI art, they're looking nostalgically about digital art, and they're considering AI art to be a bit of a threat to the art system today.
That couldn't have been said better, Ayman. I fully agree with what you said, especially me personally being when it first came out, I was really against it. But when it started developing more and I started seeing artists actually put their time into generating this art and mix and matching between all art mediums, I was really in love. I follow some AI generated artists and their artworks are mind blowing. So I feel like it just takes time, just like everything else, for people to really understand and see the worth of the art.
How are
Now,
these artists, defining themselves or introducing themselves? So usually they call themselves digital artists or canvas artists or oil artists or whatever. So what's the those that you're following? How are they defining themselves?
they're all actually just stating on their bios that it's AI generated artworks. So not really labeling themselves as artists or whatnot, but really focusing on what the art they're providing for everyone is. I'm not sure if there are any that are labeling themselves otherwise, but this was my experience with the ones I follow.
Okay.
Now, I think it's time for the big moment, which is getting to know everything about Blocksmith Labs. Rasteraz, thank you for being here again. Really enjoyed conversing with you. Please just take a couple of minutes to give us a brief introduction of what Blocksmith Labs is and what your role is with them personally.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we've been building in this ecosystem for about 2 years. Basically, Blocksmith Labs started with a product called Mercury. And what Mercury was, it is a website where you were able to go and buy different whitelists for NFT projects through a raffling system. This was free. And after Mercury had mass adoption on Solana, the first NFT collection by Blocksmith Labs was released, and that is the Smiths collection. Since then, they've been pushing products trying to elevate the NFT ecosystem on Solana, giving developers, users, just everyone in the ecosystem tools to use in order to market themselves better, be able to create teams better, stuff like that. So right now, the biggest product that we have is Atlas 3. It has over 1 million active users, and it's basically like the new version of Mercury. So if you go to atlas3.io, you're able to view all the upcoming projects across the 12 different blockchains right now. And you can meet with the team over there. You can see which projects they're giving away their whitelists to. And if you want to join those communities in order to enter that project, you have that ability. And so we're super excited about Atlas 3 right now. We also have another collection called Migos. And Migos is kind of like the cute little versions of NFTs. And so with Migos, we are creating a game that is going to be kind of like a battle royale coming out in a couple months. And we're super excited just to have both of these NFT collections building alongside of each other while we maintain our vision of building out this ecosystem and just trying to create tools that allow everybody to work together and be more organized. I think one of the most beautiful things about NFTs is that we really have the option to collaborate with humans across the world in a way that we've never been able to do before. And the most beautiful thing about humans is what we're able to create when we work together. And I think what makes NFTs is so cool is just that power of being able to create something with humans from across the world in a way that hasn't been possible before. So super excited just to see where this technology takes us and where we can go from here. But yeah, I'm curious for you guys on the panel, do any of you hold any Solana NFTs?
I do. I held a couple, and
I
I held some Sol as well.
Yeah, I had some, but I totally forgot about them when Solana got the huge dip. So yeah, I
Yeah.
Yes, only Solana had the huge dip. Yes, Web3 guy.
no, at the time I only had Solana NFTs. That's why. So I took advantage of the ETH dip to buy some NFTs.
Yeah, when you were talking about those pins, the AI pins, I heard you say you were going to get a couple, and I was thinking, man, you could get one pin and like 11 Solana if you wanted to.
I have two people in my network who I've been trying to find an AI present because they're very passionate about it, and I know they want to experiment. But on speaking of buying Sol, I've been wanting to buy some digital currency to send out to some people to bring them into Web3. People in my network that I think they would appreciate it, but they need handholding to do this. But then, if I end up buying them, how am I going to send it to them? I have to sit down and create their own wallet and explain and do. It's just so much effort on me. For me, it's like let them stay out of the space. Once something is easier, I'll be able to bring them back in. But so that's so having a nice AI box that looks cool that I can send them is relatively easier for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I found like the only way to really, when I try and talk to people about NFTs, usually their eyes roll back within about 10 seconds. And so the only way I've found to really have like conversations with people that don't care about NFTs is to show them like, hey, give me your phone. I'm going to download this Phantom app for you, and I'm just going to send you one of these NFTs that's not worth anything just to show you the experience. Don't actually put money in this wallet. Don't use it, but just look at this. Like, it's really cool, and I can do this without spending hardly any money in fees. So I wanted to have a little bit of a broader conversation with you guys, though, instead of just shilling Blocksmith Labs. We've seen so many NFT projects come and go, and everyone right now is really trying to figure out like what is a use case for NFTs that actually makes sense, that actually fits and is sustainable. And I'm curious, are there any projects that you guys know of right now that you feel like this is a really good use case? Or is there a use case that an NFT isn't creating that you're really excited about and that you think is sustainable beyond just speculation?
Two things on this. One, I feel I can feel when you're talking that you have a lot of passion for Solana, and the example that you gave of getting somebody to download Phantom and get their own NFT or so on. One thing we can do together, you and I, is we can create a separate video on this where we can go through getting started on Solana. So this could be like a getting started on Solana type of guide. So it's a video review that you and I would do, and then from that, we can break that down into a little bit more details for people to getting started on Solana. So that's something we can set up if that's of interest to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Web3 guy, if we can set that up separately, please. And I think from that Web3 guy, we can do like a one-on-one review like we're doing now. We'll broadcast it and we'll go through that. And later on, we can create like a nicely designed checklist and links to like we usually do with our assets. So that's one.
Sure.
Second, in terms of utility, because I look at the utility the most, and also from a label perspective, I'm seeing more and more references to digital collectibles, right? So we're not talking about NFTs, God forbid. We're labeling them as digital collectibles. That's a more frequent use case, more frequent label. A lot of the use cases that I'm seeing are brand related. So you like this brand, you'd buy their NFT. That brand could be a company, that brand could be a person. So that's we just buy it because we like Ras. Ras is a good guy, and we're buying whatever it is. We're buying it irrelevant of the utility that will come down the line. So that's one of the use cases. The token gating as well is a common use case that I've been coming across. The third, and that's something I also personally enjoy doing, is I buy NFTs to join communities. So if I like the founders and I like the engagements of certain communities, I buy the NFT knowing that I'm unlikely going to sell it for a profit, and there's I'm not doing that as a as a way to make money, as much as it's a way to get access to be part of that type of community and that culture and that activity. So those are some common use cases at restaurants, to answer your question.
If
Thank
I
you.
may also, sorry, Restaurant, but if I may also interrupt and join in on this conversation, one utility that I actually appreciate projects bringing forth is take Blocksmith Labs. For example, you guys built Atlas, or you're powering Atlas, and I know for a fact that most of the projects in Web3 are using this utility, which is very beneficial, just like they're using utilities like and services like Subber, AlphaBot, Task On, and all of these utilities that are making and shaping Web3. So yeah, kudos on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really exciting just to see, because really the sky's the limit. And it's so fabulous to see all these people are trying everything, literally just anything they can think of, throw it at the wall and see what sticks. And I think that's one thing we have to change in this ecosystem, is instead of having these expectations, like nobody knows exactly what NFTs are supposed to do, what the actual future is going to be, what the best product market fit is. And so I think in order for us to succeed, we really have to continue to work together, just like you guys are doing here on this space. And so we can provide each other feedback with what's going on and really examine how are we going to continue to push this, because we know the technology exists. We can feel it. We can see the potential that's there. All we have to do is to keep on trying and support each other, really embrace each other as we continue to fail, trying out all these different use cases until we can really see like which ones actually make sense for the ecosystem.
Thank you for that. With Blocksmith Labs, this is a B2B approach, right? You're not going after end users. Can you tell me more about what's a typical client?
So right now, the product is mostly free for Atlas 3. We're trying to onboard as many users as we can, people that are interested in NFTs. This is supposed to be the homepage of NFTs, where people can go see what projects are upcoming, get into those projects. And then on the other side of that, we also have the tech that is for sale for projects, and so that they can meet the users, they can use our platform in order to collect users, sell pre-sale spots. We have a map that we built for Migos that we're going to be pushing out, and so people are going to be able to see where their holders are. And so it's both. Right now, our main goal is just trying to get as many users as we can into this ecosystem before it's monetized, trying to create technology that actually elevates the ecosystem and matches the people that are creating the projects with the people that want to join the communities, and trying to make that as seamless as possible. Like right now, if you want to join a community, you're either just going off of random referrals on Discord, or you're looking at a marketplace, and we're trying to provide a different place where people can go and learn and join NFT communities.
So you're targeting founders of NFT projects on Sol, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, and this is a starting point for them, so they can mint their NFTs via your platform. They can invite the community there, do the pre-sales. Is that the main positioning for this? Like get started quickly.
Correct. We have tools for a full suite to do that. We have a launch pad called Bifrost that has been not being used for the majority of the summer here, as so many of the projects were not high quality, but we have had successful projects like Sharks and Sentries that were launched on Bifrost that still are active and thriving communities today. And so, yes, we are providing tools for projects in order to make their process as easy as possible to enter the ecosystem.
What about for community building? What type of help are you providing projects there?
For community building, the biggest thing that I can think of right now for that is like the map. So if you go to migos.io, you can see that there's a base app. And what we've done there with our community is we've done everything we can to try and give them the tools to be able to network with each other. So if you go on the Migos website, go over to the base, you can see all the holders that have signed up there. We have over 1,000 holders in over 160 different locations. And so, like personally, I went into my city and I found a couple of other holders that were near me, and so I was able to hit them up on Discord and Twitter because it's linked, and then I was able to actually like go out, get coffee with these people, and obviously it's way easier to network with people in person. You can really break down some barriers, and so that's the main utility that we have right now in order to assist with the community building. So if you go up into your URL base right there in the middle right, yes. So
Okay.
it looks like you have to have Amigos in order to access it. So I can't quite show you here, but
Yes, yes,
you could
yes, of
imagine
course.
it's just a map of the world, and then you can zoom in and see all the different people that hold and connect with them.
Okay, okay, I get it. Clear. And for end users, Atlas 3 is meant to be like a marketplace of listing all the different projects that have been built using your Blocksmith Labs tech.
Correct. Yeah. So, like a lot of times, a project will come up and they'll have, let's say, 10,000 spots, and they want to figure out how do we distribute these spots to people that are going to stay in our community, people that are not just going to flip and leave. And so they'll find different ways to distribute whitelists for that project. And a lot of times it's by giving out whitelists to other thriving communities on Solana, on Ethereum, etc. And so Atlas 3 gives the projects a tool in order to distribute those whitelists without having to manually collect every single Discord ID and make a spreadsheet and send that out. All you have to do is sign up your project on Atlas 3. You can pick the communities you want to give your whitelist spots away to, and then the tech takes it on from there. So it really frees up a lot of the time for the founders so they can focus on building the project that matters to them. And for the users, it prevents them from giving away their information to random people trying to get these whitelists. It just kind of integrates everybody into one place.
That's clear. I'm seeing more and more technology that can help founders with their projects, getting started with their projects. So I understand that you're within that. How are founders finding Blocksmith Labs? How are they coming across the project?
Well, we have a lot of different people that go out and work with looking for teams that are building and just reach them early on in the process and offer them. And so it's literally just members of our team going out, offering these services. And then on the other side, a lot of people know about Blocksmith Labs because we've been building tech for the ecosystem on Solana for over 2 years now. So mostly it's Subber and Atlas 3 that the projects right now are using. And so we're both building tech for the ecosystem, just creating that for everybody.
For the projects that were successful using your platform, what do you feel they've done differently?
I think sustainability is the biggest thing. It's so hard to have a sustainable project in this ecosystem because it's almost like against the I don't know. When you think about like NFTs, the ones that are successful are really the ones that people are speculating on the most. And so if there's a ton of volume and a ton of attention on that project, it seems like that's the driving force that is making them successful. Which projects are successful are the ones that the most amount of people know about simply. And so what really matters is that staying power. Do you have enough funds to keep a runway going for a long amount of time? Are you going to be around for a long time in order for people to have that knowing power and that name recognition? Because you see a lot of projects that will come in, deliver a lot of promises. People will see that as an opportunity to pump and dump essentially, and that's not healthy for the ecosystem. So what we really need is just sustainable businesses. But the problem is the money is going to these speculative people. And so a lot of the sustainable businesses are not seeing these really high floor prices in the NFT ecosystem. So it's really just a crazy world that we're living in here as these projects try and figure out how to balance both having a sustainable business model and driving hype and speculation around that project.
As we wrap up this segment, what would want to leave the users with? Which website do they go to? Are there important dates or projects that you want to point out?
Yeah, I would just say you could go to blocksmithlabs.io. There's a really good breakdown there of everything that the project is building. Beyond that, we have Migos Mayhem coming up, which is going to be our Battle Royale game. Super excited about that. We also have Zelo Protocol, which is kind of secretive right now, so stay tuned on Twitter, Blocksmith Labs, to learn more about that. Beyond that, we also have the lossless lottery on Atlas 3, which is a really exciting way for users to enter in a lottery where they can win whitelist spots in Solana. They can win US dollar coin. And how that works is the SOL that is being staked by the team generates rewards. Those rewards are turned into funds that are given away to everyone entering in the lottery. And what's amazing about that is you can take your liquidity back at any time, and so you're not losing funds by entering in that lottery. So we're really excited just to
Walk
be
me
able to
through
offer
lossless lottery again. What's the URL for that? Let me check it.
So go to atlas3.io,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of in the middle of the top bar. You'll see lottery.
Let me screen share.
So we've been running this for a few weeks now. If you go up to the top of the screen, keep going up there.
Yeah,
You
I
have to
think we
be,
need to sign in.
I believe you have to be signed in once again.
Okay. So tell me more. How is this? What does a person need to participate?
So Blocksmith Labs has an SPL token. It's called Forge. And the first collection that we made, Smiths, right now, if they're upgraded, they emit 8 Forge per day. That Forge is a utility token. And one of these utilities is that you can stake it on the Atlas 3 website. And there, in the lossless lottery, you have rewards that are distributed every week, essentially. So we have all the whitelists that we're distributing. We also have Smiths and Migos NFTs, and we have US dollar coin. And this is sustainable because we have revenue coming into our project, and we're giving some of that revenue back to these holders. And so now we have over 4 million Forge staked on this website that is no longer circulating because users are able to enter in this lottery. Every week they are given prizes. If they win, it's just randomly drawn. We also have a sponsor right now, Print, who is sponsoring the prize for Lossless Lottery. And so we are also trying to attract other Web3 businesses to this ecosystem to use this platform for marketing.
And it's where's the lottery aspect? Is it like something that randomly drawn? Something a user has to do? How's that being done? The lottery bit.
Yeah, so let's say there's 100,000 Forge total staked, and you have 1,000 Forge staked. Now you have a 1% chance of winning every prize that is selected through the week. So say there's 35 prizes, you have a 1% chance for each and every one of those. So your odds are pretty good to win over there. And then if you want to take your Forge out, you can do that at any time.
So there's nothing for me to do as a user, right? Other than stake. So I stake it once, and then I get an email that I won. So there's nothing for me to actually go in and spin or do or.
That's correct. Yep. So when you sign up with Atlas 3, you're going to connect the wallets for all the ecosystems you use. Let's say you win a US dollar coin, that will be sent to your wallet, and there's nothing you have to do. If you choose to remove your Forge and you no longer want to participate in Lossless Lottery, they charge a 2% fee on that Forge. Regardless, there's no risk beyond that 2% fee. You're not actually gambling the Forge that you're staking on the site.
Do you need because I'm trying to understand the mechanism. It doesn't look like you need a gambling license, do you?
It's not gambling though, because you are not risking your funds. let's say you put 1,000 forge in there, that remains in there every week. It's not taken.
Yes, this is why I think, but though the lottery name is the one that will get you in trouble, maybe, but there's no lottery in a sense.
Correct.
All right. Okay, then. So everything happens on atlas3.io from what I gather from you. Ras, thank you very much for being with us here today and for sharing your insight. And I look forward to having a separate discussion related to getting people started on Solana. Sarah, next on the next segment is the winners, I believe.
Let's go, yes.
Yes, so regarding our last week's trivia campaign about press play movies. So we have 3 winners, and in third place, winning 20 USDT, we have Mitchie Rent. So congrats, Mitchie Rent. I don't see him in the audience, but everyone, we will tag you after the space if you didn't hear right to double check if your name was mentioned. In second place, we have Aina XD Mass. Congrats, Aina. And in top place, winning 80 USDT, we have OX Vonsi. So congratulations, everyone.
Let's go. Congrats to all the winners, man.
Now,
Well, what's next?
Yes. Our next trivia competition is about science for this week. It's open and live until next Thursday. So all I have to say is compete to win.
Well, it's scientifically speaking, so not really all about science. It's going to be fun. We're not getting you back into school days. It's going to be fun. Check it out. Test your knowledge on what you know is happening around you on the world. And we can't wait to hear your feedback on the game and see who's going to win an ace this week's trivia. Guys, do you have anything else to say before we wrap up this space? Ras to Ras.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much to PowerUp for hosting this space. I really enjoyed all the insights, being able to share this platform with all of you guys. Super excited to continue the collaboration in the future. And thank you everyone so much that showed up today and participated. To all the listeners, shout out to all of you. If you are here right now, just want to express all of our gratitude to everyone that showed up today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rastas. It was a pleasure having you here with us and diving deep into Web3 conversations. And we too cannot wait to explore this collaboration more with you. Ayman?
Thank you, Sarah. All good. Thank you for everybody for
Awesome,
attending
guys.
today.
Thank you all for attending, listeners. Thank you for being here, Ras. Thank you again. Web3 guy, MG, the space is not a space without you. Everyone, until next week, keep powering up.
Join us again next Thursday